to Linda, the premier version. And today I'll be talking about Igbo Apprenticeship system. Should it be scrapped? Should it be modernized? Or is it just a cake and should be just thrown away into the dustbin? And joining me to discuss this is Emma Choko. Emma, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so when someone hear about Igbo Apprenticeship system, what's it all about?
We have to go straight to the point. Igbo Apprenticeship system is more of a business idea whereby somebody establishes business after so many years of success. He look maybe from the family or from friends, he pick one or two people, younger ones, younger generations, to bring them up to the business, to teach them one or two things, the tricks that are embedded in the business. After years or months, based on the agreement reached in the business, those ones will bring up another ones. The simplest truth about the system is this system was designed for the rich people to take poor people from their poor background, from poverty to rich. So the system has been in existence for long, and it has produced mainly millionaires in Nigeria. When you talk about IMU AHIA, this system is what keeps them what they are today. And they have so many successors under them. So I think the system is actually working, not just for the Igbos, but basically it's really real and practical in the Igbos part of Nigeria.
I mean, here a lot of people call it IMU AHIA. What other names do they call it?
Yes. There are so different. You see, I don't know if it is based on Igbo dialect or what. When you talk about these things, in some places you see people calling it Igba boy, IMU AHIA, Izu AHIA. But I think we have to define some concepts to make it for a better clarity now. When you talk about some people, you heard something like IMU ORU. When you talk about IMU ORU is just a kind of learning a work, which is more of a technical aspect of it. Okay. Then IMU AHIA or Igba boy is a kind of to serve a master in a business, in a particular brand or in a particular business. So there are two different things altogether. IMU ORU is part of apprenticeship, but it's more of technical, something like maybe you can go and learn how to do carpentry job, electrical, all these things. Those ones are IMU ORU. That's still the same process that you serve somebody to be successful or to be settled at the end of the day. But IMU AHIA or Igba boy, no, Igba boy is to serve your master. Then IMU AHIA in some places, basically in some Igbo land, IMU AHIA is quite different. IMU AHIA is to learn trade. Look at the difference there. Igba boy and IMU AHIA, I don't think they're the same. They are not the same. IMU AHIA is to learn a trade. Maybe after school or after you might have gone fast, you go and learn a trade. That one can take 1 year or 6 months. It depends. But Igba boy is you are automatically going to your master's place to stay, serving both in the house and in the shop. And it takes longer time, like 4, 5 years, 6 years. It depends on the agreement which in the system.
All right. So how did
there are so many these things. Different ideas or different scholars people say that the system started immediately after the Civil War. But I think the system has been in existence even before the Civil War. But after the Nigerian Civil War, that's around 1967, after the Civil War, it becomes more pronounced because of the shortage in fund, poverty in the land. So people are trying to see the system they can use to curb this poverty now. So the top rich men within the society now that rose to the top of their business, pick people. Basically, these things is within family members, kinsmen. You take 1 or 2 persons. Before you know it, if you go to Igbo land, you will not even discover that there was a civil war so years here because of this system. So it really helped to elevate many from poverty to where they are today. So I think it's a recommendable, something that we need to follow in Igbo land. It's a strong system.
Oh, okay.
So it has been there.
All right. So if you're just joining us, we're talking about Igbo apprenticeship system. Should it be scrapped or modernized? Or is it just a cake and should be thrown into the dustbin? Sometimes I wonder what's the difference between a cake and scrap. If it's a cake, it should be scrapped, right? All right. So how does one become an apprentice?
I think in my own little knowledge or in my knowledge, I think there are basic steps that we need to consider before this. First of all is interest. You have to indicate interest that you want to learn a particular business. So I think the number one thing is interest. First of all, I want to learn a business. I want to learn a trade. That is the interest. Then when you indicate the interest, the both parties, the master and the servant, both families will meet together for agree to maybe to discuss on the issue of this business. Now, probably after this round, there's what a kind of trial period. The servant will now go to the master's house, maybe a period of 6 months to 1 year. This is the trial period. This is the time the servant will
there's
now
a trial period.
Yes,
I didn't
yes,
know
there
about
is.
that though. Like, I'm not aware.
The trial period, you are just there to shake whether you can cope with this, whether you can be with, whether you can serve your master or not. Maybe within 6 months to 1 year. After this period, the proper agreement will now come.
Wow.
Yes, it's between 6 months to 1 year. You will go to these people to stay both in the house and the business. After staying between 6 months to 1 year, your master now will come back again. Both parties will meet for agreement. So in the agreement now, what are you talking about there? You are discussing the terms and conditions of the business. How many years is going to serve you? Then the servants will now even use the opportunity to air his view that this is what is observed about the family. This is what you think about the business. This is where the future of the business is going. So after this one now, they will now sign an agreement. And what is the content of the agreement? The agreement basically is how many years is going to serve.
Okay.
If something happened in the business, how are we going to cope? So after the agreement, maybe let's say the agreement will be 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, or 10 years. It depends. Yes, it depends. Then at the end now, we'll talk about the settlement, which is at the top. So whether, whether at the end of the day, whether the person did well or did not well. So, but this last step is about settlement. So
Okay.
that's the basic steps.
Okay. Chukwuma, you talked about 8 years. I mean, 9 years. Like, is there a strata? What determines how long someone stays in learning a business? Why 5, 6, 7? Is there a strata? Is it like where at 1 year you're learning? Is that like, in public service, we have level 1, 2, 3, or you start with level 6 if you're a graduate, or level 8 if you're a graduate, or that case may be. So is there like that kind of a level? Is there a strata that would determine, okay, at this point you are in this level? Why take so much time? 8, 9 years? I can't imagine.
I think the number of years depends on the agreement signed. Yes, it's not that you can do it in 1 year, or you can do it in 2 years, or you can do it in 4 years. Agreement is an agreement. If on the agreement date you sign that you're going to serve your master on maybe 5 years, 6 years, it depends on the arrangement. Because this thing, to the master, is not all about coming to himself to serve him. He's going to pay you at the end of the day. He's going to give you some amount of money. Yeah. So you have to work for this person to raise such amount of money. You cannot just 1 year, 2 years. That one now is IMU AHIA. That's where I'm trying to differentiate both what is IMU AHIA and Igba boy. They are two different things.
Okay.
IMU AHIA, you don't need to stay long. And your master is not giving you money at the end of the day. But here, this person is going to pay you at the end of the day. He's going to set up business for you maybe at the end of the day. He's going to rent a shop for you at the end of the day. So it's not something you can do under 2 years and 3 years. And you want somebody to dash you money that you can use to start off business.
Oh, okay.
It's just recently that it's just recently. In the past, it takes time. It takes time to build a business.
So that's the thing. To build a business. All right. So, what determines the model? What business model should people intending apprentices look out for to actually say, okay, with this model, I think this business suits this model, and I should learn under this person?
Business. Igbo Apprenticeship system has a kind of, will I say, trick that is embedded in it. There are some things that if you are not inside, you will not know. If you don't know it, you don't know it. So when talking about the model or determinants, what we think this business somebody can learn, or this is talk about success. How many years has this business been in existence? It depends. We talk about success, but somebody cannot start up business today and tomorrow he went to his village to brought 20 boys to serve him. How are you going to? How will you pay them? How will you serve? How will you pay them at the end of the day? So I think the model here is the profit. How much is coming to the business? Your capacity. Where area are you covering? if you are expanding your business, fine, you can now get people that there's hope. Because you cannot have one small shop, you want and bring like 5 persons. When they come there, they will discover that you don't have any more there here. They will not waste time to go. But you have to, first of all, you talk about income, how much is coming to this business, the success of the business before you can introduce people under you to learn the business. So the model simply is a kind of profit, how profit is coming to the business, the income, the success of the business is more of the business model here. So it's not just all about you want to bring people to your business. No. First of all, this person you want to go and learn trade from, how successful is business going? How much income is he making? So I think that's the basic model in the business.
Okay,
In the
quickly.
Igbo
All right,
system.
quickly now. What in a situation whereby a business startup as some business, and then at a point pivots and brands, like for instance, someone can start out with electrical materials, and at a point there's this like, okay, maybe there's a transformer issue and people are no more, buying electrical materials, and the person feels like, okay, building materials are thriving here. So a situation whereby the person has already, brought in apprentices that are willing to learn electrical materials, and at a point the person says, okay, electrical materials is not thriving in this area, I want to go into building materials. What becomes of the apprentice under this?
You see,
already?
Okay. This system, the fact there is that it has no Lego backup.
Oh.
This thing is it's basically an Omona arrangement, Omona idea, kinsmen.
Okay.
So there's this adage, Buhari Egwu, Buhari honored. If you are there to learn how to sell pure water, at the end of the day, pure water is not selling in the area. Your guys started selling can water. You learn how to sell can water instead of selling pure water.
Oh, really?
So the bottom line there is determine how focused you are. You have to struggle, even if the business change. As far as they said you are serving me 8 years, you must serve your guy. It's even to your own opportunity. But let me give you an instance. In the early times, for instance, those that are dealing on interior decoration. When you talk about interior decoration business in the past, in the early 90s, early 2000, 2003, what do they sell? They sell furnitures, light fittings. The furnitures is just all these sitting rooms, furnitures, and all these things. But as time goes on, these people started expanding their business. You find out that when you talk about interior decoration, it encompasses so many things that you can use to decorate a house. Then I start going into all these artwork. They say artwork, flower pots, flowers, curtains, furniture, foams. You see now the business is expanding. So if you are learning a business, the business change, you have to change. Because somebody can, but it's difficult. That's why when we talk about the model, we talk about how success this business is. Somebody cannot be selling furniture tomorrow, he will jump and start selling pure water. No, the system will still be the same part. Anybody that did this, that means the business is not flourishing. There's a problem in some way. So when you talk about changing to new parts, it means that the new part must be in line with what is in existence already. You cannot jump from electrical parts and jump to carpentry parts. It doesn't make sense. Even if something like that happens, you are still looking to be successful in life. You must follow the path. As far as the agreement says 8 years, you have to be there till 8 years.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about the funding. At the end of the day, the master settles the apprentice. So is there what determines the amount of money to an apprentice get settled? Is this also talked about during the agreement?
No.
The fact that okay, maybe 8 years ago, value of naira or value of dollar was this.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Initially I said that this program is based on there's no Lego backup. This thing is just family things, more of kinsmen. And when you talk about Igbo Apprenticeship system, you talk about integrity and trust.
Okay.
Integrity and trust. For instance, the value of 1,000 naira in 1999 is not the value of 1,000 in 2019 or 2020.
Okay.
So when you have your integrity, when you have the trust that you really want this person to grow, you know how much that can set up a business in Nigeria. There's no how somebody will serve you for 8 years. You want to set up business for the person, maybe in Alaba International Market. You're giving you 1 million naira. Though people can give you 1 million naira to start your business, it depends. But there's no particular amount of money that this person is going to give you. That's why I said it's based on trust and integrity. So what your master decides to give you is what he will give you. Though some people go extra mile to pay for shop rent, maybe for a particular year, 1 year or 2 years, for their servant to start up business. Some even bought the first goods for them to start up their business. Yes, some do that. So it's based on integrity and trust. How your master feel like, this is how I'm going to do this for him. He do it for you. So there's no Lego backup. It's just personal decision of your master.
Okay.
I think,
So,
yeah.
I mean, this is like my penultimate question right now. So, some people have the idea that, okay, this IMU AHIA of a thing is spiritual because they don't understand how someone, because, you know, people, especially in this part of our culture, are kind of, you know, known for being, you know, sway, as in just deviating from plan in future or something. So how true is this saying that IMU AHIA is spiritual? Is there any spiritual aspect of it? Because some people were like, if you don't settle your apprentice, the apprentice god or she will follow you forever or something. And so some people, in order not to, you know, fall into that, you know, consequences, kind of try to meet up with their plan as a master. So how true is the fact? Is it saying that apprenticeship is spiritual? Is it spiritual at all?
Everything in this country will tag this spiritual. I don't know. Must everything be spiritual? The fact is this. There must be stories. So without all these stories, life will not go on. I don't know about the spiritual part of it, but one thing I know is that everything here, when somebody fails, they must look for an answer somewhere. They say spiritual. What type of spiritual are you talking about here? Why didn't that spiritual affect others? Why must it be you? Why in your own case? So I don't know much about the spiritual aspect of it, but one thing I know is that if you serve your God very well, that has a good mind for you, he will serve you. So the spiritual aspect of it, I don't know anything about that. Anything that has to do with spiritual, I'm not part of it now.
Okay,
So,
you're not in Daboski.
but Jose,
Okay, you know, that's just a joke there. So
yeah,
let's come down to the question right now. With this whole thing you've talked about, and with the fact that you know, Igbo apprenticeship system does not encourage a conglomerate. Like for instance, we have some companies, Chinese and Asian companies have conglomerates. Businesses in Ababa, Alaba, they don't, you know, they're just after community success. They don't have like an Iroko tree in the whole community. Like that's what I mean by conglomerate. They don't have like someone that will like stand out and say, okay, this person is 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 so much ahead of others. It just encourages community and all of that. And considering the fact also that, you know, for instance, I had a situation whereby a man went to the village, brought some three boys, their father died, and then, you know, brought them to the city and set them up. After they set him from some years, he had to give them, like, let me say for instance, the man's share in the whole business is 3%, and he settles these boys like with so much amount of money. At the end of the day, he has given like 1% of his share to these boys. And he also mentors them as the case, as year go, as you know, as time goes on. Like with all these things put into table and into consideration, should Igbo apprenticeship system be scrapped, modernized, or is it just a cake and redundant and should be thrown to the waste bin?
okay. I don't know. I don't know if archaic should be the right word here. But in terms of scrapping and modernizing, why are you scrapping it? Why? Something that's been in existence. I saw one video recently, there's a program somewhere in Lagos or thereabout, I don't know. One white guy, there's this quote I got from that video, like they were like, the Igbo apprenticeship system is the largest business incubator platform in the world. Somebody made this quote. But let me ask you something now. Something that's been in existence, okay, let's say before the Civil War, after the Civil War, it has been helping people. It has been raising people from level 1 to level 10, from poor background to rich background. Why are you scrapping? Why are you removing it or modernizing it? Why is it archaic? It's not archaic. It's just our thinking that we are talking about here. We just want to be woke in everything. It's old-fashioned. It's old-fashioned. That is 8 years. That's why some people even go to extra mile and saying it's more of modern slavery. How will you serve somebody for 8 years? But to be real, practical, For somebody to give you 2 million naira, 4 million naira, and just have the person 8 years feeding you under his power, is there anything bad there? You're working for this person. He's going to settle you at the end of the day for you to be successful. For instance, we talk about students in Nigeria, graduates, 4 years, 5 years, you graduate from university, right?
Yeah, yes.
5 years, you finish your NYSC, everything. It might take you 3 years before you get a job. That's 8 years. Somebody that will serve somebody 8 years, you give him money to start up business with the connections and the tricks in the business already. Which one is better? We're talking about it's a cake. It's not a cake to me. It should be the way it is.
Shouldn't be modernized.
It's a choice.
Modernizing
it to what?
There shouldn't be a Lego backup to it. There shouldn't be something.
That's distraction. Distraction. You are bringing in distraction now. Which Lego backup? You want to introduce more distraction to the business. This thing I said before is based on integrity and trust. This is between kinsmen. It's between relations. It's between families or communities. You want to modernize it. You bring Lego backup. Where? This person, he's going to settle you. There's what we call settlement.
Okay, I did not ask you a question. I omitted it. But this you were saying just made it occur to me. What if in a situation whereby the master dies? What happens to the apprentice?
Listen.
Is that not where the Lego backup comes? So that even if the kinsmen inherit the property of their brother, they will also have, okay, we have a Lego, an agreement. This is our brother. We are inheriting his property, has signed in the past. And so far as we are inheriting it, we are under obligation to meet up the obligation he wasn't able to meet up because he's dead.
Listen, I said integrity before. There have so many cases where the master died before they will settle the person. We have so many cases. The family will still settle the person. That's why I said it's based on integrity. But sometimes, let me be clear here, everybody will not be successful at the end of the day in this system. That's just the fact. It's not everybody that enters from year one, things will be normal like that. If you are 20 that got admission in year one, before final year, we reduce to 15 or 18. It's not everybody that will graduate. But bringing or trying to modernize the system is just a kind of distraction. They should leave this thing the way to my own knowledge, this thing should be the way it is. No need of bringing any modernization or scrapping it or doing whatever. Remember after Civil War, have you ever asked how did the Igbo people manage to survive? How did they manage to? It's through this system. So now, 2020, you want to modernize it, to bring legal backup. Tomorrow, as I see from court, from business, this thing is the best, the way it is. It's very, very clear like this. So no need of scrapping or modernizing it. The old fashion is the best. We like it like this.
You must be an old-fashioned man. All right, so I've been talking with Chukwuma Emodi there on the topic Igbo apprenticeship system. Should it be scrapped, modernized, or archaic? And from what he has said, and he said that it should be left the way it is. Shouldn't be modernized, shouldn't be taught, shouldn't even be twitched, shouldn't be made up. Just leave it
exactly.
Is best that way. So there's a Facebook version where you have to join us on this agreed on scheduled date. You join us, drop in your comments, and you have freebies to win. And you can even call into the program and through the number that will be on the screen on that day and share your thoughts and opinion. I mean, isn't that wonderful? So I come your way next time. Keep watching Crucial Talks with Linda. I don't know. Do you have any more thing to add? Nothing.
I don't have anything much to say. Just that you didn't tell me to make up the way you did.
This I did not make up. This is how my mother born me. That's
okay, nothing much to say.
All right, thank you for watching.